What about Phil Maton?
Oh, I love
Dexter?
Dexter, right, dude? Dude,
I'd post those memes all the time.
yeah, serial killer.
Yeah.
In this season, we've seen him smile way too much.
Yeah.
It's been different.
It has been different.
Phil,
Like, come
Phil's
on,
my
bro.
dude, but
He's a very nice guy.
Oh, we've heard he's a really
so
nice guy.
he's
but-
very dry.
right.
But it's just like such a fun personality though, even though he is dry. Like we're in California. It was the four of us, including Ryan, myself, Joe, and then Phil. And he was in the back seat. And Joey's just like, you know, she's just like, like saying stuff. And he goes, I see the song of your people. And I loved it. Like, it was so fun.
Oh, my goodness. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian Lima, Apollo Dez here with you. Follow us on Twitter at BLima790, at Apollo Dez1, and of course at Apollo HOU. We got some special guests in studio with us today. Ryne Stanek and his beautiful wife, Jessica Stanek, in the building. We appreciate you guys taking the time. No baby, you said that she was laid down for a nap and you guys got some time away.
Yeah, with the parents, so we get to get a couple hours to ourselves, which is a welcome surprise that we don't usually get. So
Few and far between.
yeah.
And hanging with us knuckleheads.
Yeah, gotta take advantage of it. So
super
we really appreciate y'all's time. I want to jump right into it, and I'm gonna come out with the fire, dude. You were absolutely snubbed from the All-Star game. 0.5 ERA, sub 1. I mean, what else you got to do?
Maybe score runs. I don't know. I don't know.
Damn.
It was a little frustrating. Just because like you feel like the All-Star game should like celebrate the people that have had like it's like for the most part it does like it usually it celebrates the people that have had tremendous years like up to that point, and it to feel like I don't know I feel like I've had good years going up into the All-Star break before, and like but like I've realized like obviously like not good enough to be an All-Star, but this was like the first year that I'm like, man, I really deserved it. And like to not make it was actually really frustrating, especially whenever like, I don't know, you look at like, I don't know, WAR numbers and whatever. It's like outperformed people that have been there. And like, I was talking, like I'm friends with Devin Williams, and I was talking to him going up to until the last couple days, and he didn't get in, and Hader did. I mean, they had very similar numbers. And Hader gets in, he doesn't. Obviously, Hader's really good. Like, that's not, like, even a question. Like, he deserved to be an all-star, too. But, like, Devin had a great year, and non-closing relievers, like, just never get looked at. They might as well not even allow you to vote for non-closers because, like, it doesn't matter.
I think also, like, we talked about on our last episode, like, the Astros and Yankees should have had, like, 2x more players than anyone else. Like, the best teams at the All-Star break should be like guaranteed more slots than, you know, other teams because they play their tails off. You guys have played your tails off, and you should be rewarded for that, being the best teams in baseball. So it's just, I thought you, Javi, even Rafi, I mean, like,
Rafi's
it's
had
just
a great year too. Yeah.
like you guys deserve to be there. And especially we talked about it offline where like, you've gone into like 31 appearances, I think, like 32 appearances, and probably like 27 of them are like high leverage, shit's on fire. Like, you got to like take care of this. And who cares if it's the 5th inning, the 8th inning, or the 9th inning? Like, these are high leverage spots, or you're facing 2, 3, 4 in New York. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like.
And runners on every time.
Yeah.
I haven't had a clean inning in like a month, it feels like.
And that's the knock on guys that aren't closers or starters, that they just assume that setup guys or mid-inning relief guys are just going in non-high leverage situations. Then you look at guys like you, and I'm sure there's others across the league that you just said it. You come in with runners on every single time. You get your job done and you don't get recognized. I understand it's a popularity contest, but at the end of the day, shouldn't you recognize the top talent in the league up to that point?
Yeah, I think as a player, it gets talked about a lot. Like, there's a lot of frustration that goes along with it because there are guys obviously on our team and that we feel like should go, but like you see it around the league. It's like I vote regardless of team on who has had the best season. Like, the players do get a vote, but like it doesn't, like, I guess it counts, but like it doesn't feel like it counts that much. but like you vote for guys that deserve it because it means more to the guys. Like Taylor Ward for LA, prime example of a guy that absolutely deserved to go. And like they had an opportunity to put him on when Trout backed out. They didn't. And I mean, the dude has a 900 OPS, like playing in the same outfield, like as Mike does. Mike's a great player. He backs out. Like easy go, hey, yeah, this guy should be the guy. And it's like, as a player, you vote for the guys that have had exceptional seasons because you know how much it means to people. And a lot of time there's money attached to going. Like people have it in their contracts that it's like, hey, you go to you get named to an all-star team, you get like a bonus, or like if it doesn't like pay out that way, like it helps you when you negotiate your next contract or something like that. You're like, hey, I was an all-star such and such year. Like it ends up mattering. But like the fan votes, fans, what was it 15 where Kansas City voted in 9 Royals into the starting lineup, and then the league was like, hey guys, no, that's not a thing. Like it's like they overruled the fan vote because the fan vote was ridiculous. And it's like, yes, they had all-stars and they were a good team because 15 they won the World Series in 15, right?
15,
obviously a very good team, should have had a bunch of all-stars. No team has 9 in their lineup.
9,
Like it just doesn't. Like that's just not how the game works. And I think like I don't know, like, there's got to be like a better way. Like maybe weight the players vote higher because the players know the ins and your peers are voting for the people that they think are best in the league at the moment. And even in that situation, people will get missed or overlooked because of, I mean, you see teams in your own division more. So if there are guys having a good year in your own division, you're going to remember them more than someone in a division that you maybe haven't even played yet at that point. So it like, yes, people will still get missed, but like it's a better way to do it.
Yeah. And if guys get missed by the players or the fans or whatever it is, commissioner office still has
the power,
the ability to come in and say, you know, Ryne Stanek has a 0.5 sub 1 ERA and just comes in and deals every time he's in there. Let's put him on the team because he deserves it. But I mean, it's like it goes into example of like Shohei Ohtani and Yordan Alvarez. Look, Shohei Ohtani is one of the most generational players we'll probably ever see. What he's doing. Should he have been an all-star? Absolutely. Should he have been the starting designated hitter? No.
Yeah.
When you compare his numbers to Yordan Alvarez's, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
But he's a worldwide talent. He got more votes. Obviously, Yordan got hurt, so forth and so on. We saw Shohei, start, which you probably could have made a case that he could have been a starting outfielder, starting pitcher. I mean, the dude's so good, but for the DH role, it should have been Yordan as the starter.
100% agree. And I think that's one thing that like gets lost in the shuffle because nobody that's looking at it would say that Shohei shouldn't have been an all-star. He obviously should have been.
Yeah.
He's got like a low 2 on the mound.
Yeah.
Like obviously he's a good hitter. Like he produces, but for the DH role, it's a hitter, the designated hitter, period.
Yeah.
Like it's like all you have to look at is offensive numbers. And if you're looking at pitching numbers, you're not looking at the DH role. Obviously Shohei is going to be an all-star. He's a amazing talent, amazing player. Obviously should have been an all-star. I think that's the thing that like nobody's arguing that. But the fact that he got the DH, you're like, that's, and it's like, you get it because he is like a worldwide sensation. They want him starting. I get it. But like, that's like these little things. And like, but Yordan made it. So it was like still like attached to his name forever.
Yeah, right.
What are some things? Obviously, you came over and you've been just a dude for the Astros, and this year you've taken up to another level. Was it something this offseason that changed differently, or what's kind of you're just getting older, you're getting more mileage, and you're with the Astros another year? What's been this jump of just like absolute lights out for Ryne Stanek?
No clue. Nothing's changed. Nothing at all. Honestly, like I mean, there's just nothing's changed. It's just this. I mean, nothing. I'm really not doing anything different. Like,
It's dad energy. Dad energy.
I don't know. I think it just like being a reliever. Like, you can be really good, and then be unlucky, and then you can be bad and be lucky, and then you can be good and be lucky. Like it's just like it's I don't know. Being a reliever is it's a fickle job, and it's like no, like you're basically an offensive line. You're a guard. Like nobody knows who you are unless you like mess up. Like
Yeah.
that's it. So it's like I don't know. You get to the point where sometimes you go out there and give up 3 missiles and they get caught, and then you'll give up 3 flares and they land, and you give up 4 runs that day and it ruins your half. Like one bad day ruins 2 months of really good pitching. So like I don't know. I think there's a lot of luck that goes into relieving. I mean, you go out there and you execute and you try to do like your job the best you can, but at some point like it's not really in your control how everything goes. You get to the point where you throw a ball, breaks a bat, it falls, and it's a double. And you're like, it shattered his bat, and it went 60 feet, but it hit just right, rolled away from a defender.
Exit velo at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, like it just
still at the plate.
Yeah, things happen. So it just, I don't know. I think some of it's good luck, some of it's good execution, and then kind of anywhere in between that is just kind of how these things go well.
What's been like having the new pitching coaches? I would see Strami's out, Miller and
Murph.
Yes, new guys. Obviously, they've been part of the system, for a while. But is it different? Is it same, or what kind of it lets you guys kind of do what you guys do?
It's pretty much the same. Like I mean, they've been with the org for so long. Like they've been there, and they've even been with the big league team for the past. I mean, Murph's first year with the big league club was last year, but Josh had been around a few years. And I mean, I think the continuity that like had been put into place, like they'd work with Strami, been kind of like the same vibe, the same like verbal cues, the same things that you've been like hearing for a while. They didn't really change. So I think it's just like the transition hasn't really been difficult because it just kind of like carried over into the same stuff that's been happening.
That's kudos to Brent Strom, like for what he instilled in those guys. So you talk about the continuity is the same. It's basically like Strom is still here, but it's in 2 different guys. Talk about Martin Maldonado just a little bit, because a lot of people, and I say a lot of people, the fan base, they want to see a catcher that hits 340, hits 30 tanks by the All-Star break, and when they see Martin Maldonado going like 0 for 12, and then he comes out and hits 2 bombs and a double or something, then everyone's back on the train. But from where we're sitting, we know what he brings to not just the pitching staff, but the entire ball club. Can you just kind of walk us through what it's like to pitch to him, to be around him in the clubhouse? Because dude, he's got to be like a manager somewhere down the road, right?
100%.
I mean, he 100% has that in him. So I just want to know, from where you sit in the back end of the bullpen, what is it like to come in and have him back there?
With Maldi, it's like the preparation, like the day-to-day game prep that he does, and going into every series, like it's not normal. I've not like I played with some good catchers, but like what he does, like the amount of work he puts in is I've never seen. He's so prepared all the time, and he knows how to get the best out of everybody. And I think that's such a testament to like how much he's respected in the clubhouse. Because if he needs to go out there and get in somebody's ass and be like, hey, figure it out, he'll do it. And the thing is, he could rip somebody apart, and the dude that he's yelling at is going to go, you're right. Like, let's go. Like it's I got to figure it out. And I think he's just got such a good pulse of the clubhouse that like when he talks, people listen. And it's very understated, I think, because I know people talk about like, oh, being a leader, being this, being that, like, and people don't really want to hear that. They just want to be like, oh, just go play or whatever their thought is.
Give me a hit.
Yeah. It's like right. go 15 for 15 with 10 pumps.
Make me
like,
a bicycle clown.
Yeah.
What about like so one of the things that I've heard about him is he's got like a really good feel for the game, and it's the off the script moves. You obviously each pitcher has a game plan. You study everything, all the analytics, all the spray charts, so forth and so on. But it's the off the script moves that he makes.
Yeah,
that makes him that much better behind the plate.
Yeah, because he's able to like you said, like just like adjust on the fly. Like you see something going on, and like you see, I don't know, like situationally, like a guy's game plan against this guy is like, well, he usually sucks at being able to cover the top rail heater, and first at bat ambushes it, and you're like, all right, that's kind of weird. Maybe he's just looking for that. Second at bat, late in the count, gets to a top rail heater, and you're like, all right, well, what the hell's going on? Like sitting there and like kind of going, all right, well, what is the next move? What is your counter move to the hitter's adjustment to like whatever adjustments being made on the field? Like being able to do that like in real time and identifying that, like a lot of times people just continue to go back to the well over and over and be like, hey, that's where we were supposed to go. We're going to keep going there. And no matter how many times they beat you in that spot, you're going to keep going there, even because that's his weakness. But you're facing big league hitters. They're really damn good. And they're getting paid to do to beat you. So like at some point they make adjustments and you have to like adapt and figure it out. And I think just like his feel for the game and what he knows and how he can like interpret things in real time makes so much difference.
How does it feel to be one of the fewest people to ever be on planet Earth that throw 100 plus miles an hour? Like, if you think about it, in the history of the Earth, you're like one of like 200 people. Like, that's bananas.
Yeah.
I've never honestly really thought about it. I don't know. It just kind of happens. It's like, I don't know. There'd be days that you go out there and you try to do it, nowhere close. Days you're out there and feel horrible, and sometimes like somehow it works and it happens. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
it's like what was the guy's name for Toronto last night? Alec is how do you say his last name?
Manoah.
Mm-hmm. He was mic'd up and he was asking Smoltz and Joe Davis on the broadcast. He was like, "Hey, how much was that one?" And they were like, "You only hit 93." And he's like, "Really? Damn it!" Like 2 pitches later, he humps it up to 95. 2 pitches later, he humps it up to 97. And then he's like, "Ooh, that one felt good. What was that, fellas?" And they're like, "Yeah, that one hit 97." He's like, "Yeah, I knew it." So you mean to tell me that when you're up there and you chunk one in there, that you're never like, "Ooh, yeah, that one."
We're not peeking. We're not peeking.
Yeah.
And looking.
Oh, I'll look.
Okay.
Yeah, like, whatever. I'll look. But like, yeah, you have ones that feel good, and you're like, "Ooh, that one felt good," and you like no. But then you have ones where it's like, "Man, I feel terrible today," and you go throw, and like those are the days that I look. I feel like I actually look is like, "Man, I feel bad today," and I'll like go up and look, and I'm like, "Huh, that's pretty normal." All right, well, we'll figure it out. Like, I don't know. I think I've just gotten so accustomed to like my range that like I pretty much know what it's gonna be. Even on like days where I feel bad, I kind of like have some expectation of like what it should be.
Yeah.
When in your career did you land on just kind of your repertoire? Obviously, your fastball splitty is majority of it, but was that after Arkansas and everything else? Like when they kind of you're in the pen, or when did that come about? Where like, hey, I'm this guy with these weapons, and I'm going to be this guy in the league.
I got drafted as a sinker slider guy out of college. I threw hard, but it was all two seams, and then was in the rotation for 14, 15, 16. And the end of 16, Tampa moved me to the bullpen because it's like Snell was in front of me, like free at the time. Like we had a handful of guys that were ahead of me in like rotation spots to get called up. So like, well, you throw hard, let's have you throw more four seams, and then try to get you to strike out more guys, and we'll put you in the bullpen and hopefully get you the big leagues quicker. And you get to that point, and I got called up, couldn't throw any breaking ball for a strike. I actually kind of sucked at the time. I got sent down, figured out, actually had Steve Geltz, a reliever with Tampa at the time, teach me to throw a split like he threw.
Oh, shit.
And I threw it for a couple weeks in AAA. Like I played with it for like 2 weeks, finally brought it into a game. It was like all right, and kept throwing it, got called back up, and then basically thrown it since. Yeah, I mean, since probably end of 16, I've thrown like the same stuff.
Look at that, Brian. You can learn a splitter now. And
I threw
about
a splitter.
4 or 5 years, you can
I got big
be in the
ass
show.
hands, dude. I threw a splitter, but I threw like 85. So I went to college as an outfielder, but it's crazy. I could throw 92 from the outfield, but get on the bump and it's like 85. Like, I don't know. I probably just didn't. I just didn't have good mechanics, I guess. But when you came to Houston from Miami and you got around Brent Strom and guys like that, obviously Justin Verlander was here. Did they tweak with your mechanics at all in spring training? Did they do anything different? Because the reason I asked that is Garrett Cole came when he came to Houston, he turned into a dude. I mean, he had a couple of good years with Pittsburgh. Then there was some down years, and then he comes here, and it's like he's chunking 99, 100 miles an hour through 7, striking out 15 guys in the playoffs, and then he goes to New York, gets the big time payday, which he deserved, so forth and so on. But he gave a lot of credit to guys like Brent Strom. Did they do anything in spring training when you got there? Because we've been in spring training, they got all the technology you can think of, and they're reviewing footage and things like that.
It's not so much mechanical tweaks. A lot of it is tweaks in like using your stuff better and identifying what you do well and like making that better. It's not so much like, I don't think physically I've changed like anything delivery wise, but like when I got here, it felt like basically what I had known with Tampa. So it was like very, very like, hey, like this is what your stuff's doing. This is what we think can make it better. All right, you make a little bit of like a hand placement tweak, and literally like my ball, I was throwing kind of like bad flat runners when I first got here because like I had been banged up with Miami, and like I'd lost like the feel of like what I was trying to like replicate with my heater, and it was getting whacked. And then I get here and they're like, hey, like I want you to stay a little bit like taller, more vertical on the baseball, create a little bit more hop, get back to like what I was doing before. And it took me 2 bullpens to go, oh, that's where I was. But like you get to the point where you do something so regularly that it becomes a habit, even if it doesn't feel like a bad habit. Just the placement going from here to like right here changes the flight of the ball so aggressively that you go from throwing a ball at 14 a hop and 14 a run, and that gets whacked. And then you be a little bit more vertical, it goes to 18 and 10, and it's a swing and miss. And you're like, oh damn, that was like, how did I get to that point? But like it's very easy to like lose your way if you're not like being like shown where you're at. If you're not able to keep your data that you like, what makes you and what makes you successful, you start to lose that, and it's pretty easy to go sideways. And like if physically you go sideways, then mentally you go sideways, and then nothing works.
Right.
So yeah, I think their ability to identify what you do well and make that better is like as good as anybody in the game.
Was it Verlander or Cole? They got rid of the 2-seam.
Cole,
right?
Yeah.
They just told him 4-seam to elevate the fastball, change eye level.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see how that works. That makes sense on tweaking hand placement and things like that. It's just fascinating, man, because I remember being at spring training and seeing they got an iPad on you, they got something right above you. I mean, it's just everything analytical that the Astros do is just like, for me as a baseball guy, it's just like the only word I can think of is just fascinating.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the amount of attention to detail that they put into everything is wild.
Last episode, Jessica dropped the bombshell that Mr. Stanek over here is a little nerd. And what are some nerdy things that, since I think February was the last episode we had you on, what are some nerdy things? We've been Stranger Things. Have we watched Stranger Things when it dropped? Or
I've not watched the new one, but every single time we're like looking for something while we're going to bed, he's like, "Do you want to watch Stranger Things?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to watch that."
I don't think you can do that right before bed, though. It'll have you on the edge of your seat, man. I just watched the last one of it.
He doesn't like creepy things either, so I really don't know what the draw is.
I think Stranger Things wasn't creepy though. Like I don't know, the first couple seasons. I mean, this one might be different.
Vecna, dude,
this one's.
Oh really?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, Vecna's a son of a bitch, but like it's pretty slasher.
They're not little kids in Hawkins anymore.
No, they're
it's
not.
Really?
dark.
Yeah, it's kind of dark now. Yeah, because I don't like it. I don't like gory. I don't like any of that stuff. And I was hooked on Stranger Things. And then it got to the Vecna stuff, and I was like, okay, what's going on?
It's not the same show.
Yeah, man. Like, what is this? What happened? But it's been I don't want to spoil it, but damn you, Vecna, man.
It's good. It's
Damn
good.
you.
I don't know. Every single movie date we've ever gone on since we've been together has always been to see some type of like superhero movie. And I never in my life have really liked superhero movies, but we don't really get to go on dates very often now. But 2 days ago, first night of All-Star break, we went and saw Thor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, what is my life right now? Like, how did I get to this point? I used to say I would never date a sneakerhead. I was like a flip-flop, like Tory girl, and then here I'm wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
I'm like slowly morphing into him in a way without the anime. I draw the line at anime. I draw the
That's right. I
line.
forgot you said on our first time we had you on that you're an anime guy.
I watch.
I dabble.
I dabble.
Dabble.
I dabble.
I dabble.
He dabbles in the arts.
Yeah.
That's funny. Jessica, when you saw that Ryne was not invited to the All-Star game, how did you feel?
Let it
I mean,
rip. Let it rip.
Let it rip. You can cuss on here too if you want.
Don't let it rip.
It just-
No, I'm gonna. It's hard. I mean, it's been a really fun year watching him. He's just, he's happy, he's healthy, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And so there was a lot of like lead up going into it where we were both getting pretty excited, where it's like, okay, well, this is actually, something that's in the cards for us possibly this year. And every single day, I think we would just anticipate some type of answer, because obviously if you've never gone before, you don't really know what it looks like what the process is, any of that stuff. So he went to the field and he wasn't home. He was in California. They were in Oakland, yeah. And the day that he went into the field and he texted me and said he didn't get it. It was hard. I in that moment, I feel like it's my job to just kind of take a step back and like let him vent and get it all out, whatever he needs. But like mentally, I could tell he wasn't in a good spot. So I bought a flight and I met him in California.
That's awesome.
And I
Yes.
just
Yeah.
felt like he needed me and Joe. So we went, and I was glad that I could be there with him. And I feel like when he's down, and same with me, like we just want to be together, and it helps us kind of get past it. So
Yeah.
That's amazing.
it was hard
Yeah.
though. I mean, he deserved it.
Oh,
100%.
100%.
I
Oh
mean,
my
the
God.
biggest advocate, like
I'm-
my husband deserved to be
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
We're gonna be your anger translators, and we're just
Yeah.
like next year is gonna be, dude. I'm gonna whip some votes.
Didn't you
Now,
say?
I'm gonna,
Didn't you say you're going to burn down the internet if Jordan didn't? Get in it,
I
and
will.
then-
I will burn down the internet
and then-
now for
yeah,
Ryan. I will do it. I will 100% figure out a way.
Ryan.
Yeah,
I will do it.
So on, I'm on a radio show in the morning. Like I talked about you for like 3 days, and we got off air, and one of my producers was like, "Dude, can you stop talking about Ryne Stanek?" I was like,
It's like, no.
It was
No,
bull- look, man, it's bullshit. Like it's 100%. Can you pull up?
He's
his
a
stats
big.
real
All right,
quick?
hold on. As
I'm
he
not
pulls
even
it
a
up,
freaking stat guy, but
Dude,
dude,
he's
I
a
was
big
looking at
he's
WAR
not-
numbers, Ryan. Like I was literally looking
that
at
takes a
WAR
lot. He's a big
Seriously.
ERA guy and average guy. Like we're
Like,
we
batting
just
average,
got him to
OPS.
we just got him to OPS.
Yeah,
like
I'm on OPS.
he's a dinosaur in baseball.
Yeah, like I coach a 12U team.
OPS is important.
Yeah, OPS. I coach a 12U team, and some of my 12U players, I have a really good team. They come to me and they're like talking about their OPS and batting average and on base percentage. I'm like, dude, get the hell away from go run some laps. Like I don't want to hear about your stats. Like just give me a good at bat, good approach, right? So I take that when I'm doing this stuff. But then I was looking at all your numbers, comparing them to everybody else. You had, I think you threw an inning and a third your last outing. You walked one guy, struck out another, and your ERA dropped to a 0.52 or whatever it is right now. And I'm like, the dude walks one guy, doesn't give up another run, and it's almost sub 5. Like, what are we doing? What is it? What is it? What is it right now? What's the WAR?
0.57.
Boom. Okay, I was off a little bit, but 0.57 is right.
4.5 WAR, which is
That's
I don't
wins
like-
above.
Holy shit.
I don't like hearing them.
What
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just
to
frustrating.
get him off like ERA and like get him like into the numbers, you knew like something big happened.
Yeah,
like
dude, just
he's that dinosaur. He's just like I'm like we'll talk. And Brian's like, you see that at bat today? I'm like yeah. I was like. He saw like 9 pitches and like 6 of them
Quality,
were
man.
quality
Give
pitches,
that man a
good at
cue.
bat. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, we gotta get you in the 21st century
Yeah,
baseball, dude. We gotta get you.
You can't go too far because expected and projected numbers are stupid.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Like I hate how like they're like, oh, his what is it? XFIP or whatever. You're like, dude, expected numbers are not real. And if you think
They're
they're
not
real,
real,
you're
man.
wrong. They're not real. They're
not
made
real.
up. They're not real.
Yeah.
They're fairy dust.
Like
Yeah,
it's like I think those numbers they have merit only like when a guy is like vastly outperforming or vastly underperforming. Like that's it. If I'm trying to think of an example, like
Tucker, beginning of the year.
yeah, Tucker at the start of the year.
But if you watch baseball, you know he's lined out 25 times.
yeah, he was
You know
hit.
what
He
I
was
mean?
hitting 140.
those are quality at bats.
But he was hitting 75% barrels. He was leading the
Yeah.
league in barrels. You're like,
Yeah.
he's hitting the ball over 100 almost every at bat, and he's just not getting hits. You're like, okay, that's that expected stuff. Okay, yeah, I get it, because he was hitting the shit out of the baseball and not getting any results. Like, eventually you hit the ball hard and things work. But it's another thing where a guy goes out there and flares 15 in there. He's hitting 420, and you're like, why is he hitting 420? Like, this guy's great. And you're like, well, it's the soggiest 400
Yeah.
you've ever seen in your life. There's no damage.
So-
like, that can't last.
It's like look when Bregman was struggling a bit. Like, dude couldn't find a hit to save his life, but he's leading the team in walks,
Which
and his on base percentage is way up there.
Yeah.
well, and his OPS is high because
Yeah.
he's getting on base.
Right.
Like at some point, it's like, yeah, you might when Breggy was like, he was not swinging it as well as he is now. He's like, he's still getting on base a ton. Like, that still has value, especially he's getting on base right in front of Jordan.
Yeah.
Who just smack the ball off the wall and he
Yes,
scores and it's an
yeah.
instant run. And you're like,
Right.
thank you.
He has the easiest job. He gets to jog right after getting on base. 'Cause You've got Barry Bonds behind him.
Bregman's going 0 for 1 with 3 walks and
And
people
3
are-
runs scored. And
Yeah,
you're like,
3 runs
and you're
scored.
sitting there going like, oh, he was 0 for
Oh, he's
today. And
0
you're like,
for 1. Why did
who
he get a
cares?
double?
He scored 3
Double.
runs.
Dude, he gets on base. You got the potential MVP behind you, and Jordan Alvarez, and people are wanting to freaking DFA Alex Bregman. It's just that's why you don't look at X numbers, man. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, and,
You know?
and I think one thing that fans struggle with is they really struggle with the ebbs and flows of a season,
It's
because
160
like the
times.
season does this
Oh,
at
yeah.
all times.
You
And
talking
the
about
fact-
struggle? That's like
Oh.
that's saying it lightly. Like we always say it on this podcast. He's always said it's not a sprint. This isn't 2020.
No.
They're not playing 60 games. They're playing 162. It's May. Yeah, okay. They lost to the Marlins. It'll be fine. We
It's
promise.
like you lose series. We got
Man.
swept. We got swept at home a few times last year to teams that did not have winning records
Yep.
and played horrible. But we also played really good against other teams that were really good baseball teams. We won games, won series, won 10 games in a row a few times. You're sitting there looking at it going like, the season is so long and the game is so difficult that no matter who you're playing and no matter the day, anybody can beat anybody.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Like,
It's
like,
baseball.
It's
it's baseball.
baseball.
It's baseball.
Like any day, somebody can go out there and be the hero for your team or somebody else's team, and you go out there and you run out against a no hitter. Like, sorry, man, there's not anything you can do. It
Yeah.
just happens. Like,
slap around the Mets, slap around the Yankees, come back home and get 2 out of 3 taken from you by Miami, who's not a very good team. But that's just baseball.
That's baseball.
the game is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I think people I think they look at records of teams like vastly too seriously, because like I feel like the difference between like the best teams in the league and like the worst teams in the league isn't as far as people think. Like, there's so many good players in our game, and like you don't get to the big leagues by being bad.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of like your numbers, if you're in the big leagues, you're in the among the 750 best baseball players on the planet.
Yeah.
Period.
100%.
Like that's I think that's lost in the game, because they just like everybody's compared to Jordan and everybody's compared to Mike Trout, and you're like, yeah, those guys are freaks. They are so good at this game. Play in your own league. Like, you're better than everybody else anyway. Like everybody else is so good that like it just like you lose the nuance of that, because the game is played at such a high level and it's so fast, but it looks slow when you watch it. Like, if you watch a game on TV, the game looks like it's in slow motion, but like every play happens in like a ground ball to short. Like, shortstop's got to get the ball, throw it to first, within 4 seconds. Like, and that's if it's right at him.
Yeah.
Like the nuance in that is so typically lost to like just regular fans. And I think that as a player gets frustrating because they expect you to be perfect at all times. And you're like, dude, they're getting paid to play. Like, they're really damn good at this game too. Like,
paid to play a game that if you succeed 30% of the time, you're a Hall of Famer.
yeah, you're elite.
Yeah.
You're elite. Like elite. And
28% of the time you succeed as a hitter, you're up there, right?
You're an all-star.
You're an all-star, yeah. It's just
And you have every team, and not for everything that happened in the past, but for everything that's happened over the last half decade, the Astros have been so damn good that they naturally have a target on their back because they're the standard, right? So teams that, are rolling in, they're going to play up a little bit. Like, they're going to be juiced up to like, hey, we're playing the best of the best. Granted, it's another series, another thing, but for them, it's a little extra just because you guys have been the standard. So like, fans, just chill out. Just relax.
relax, man.
It's 162. Put your feet up.
Enjoy the
Relax,
season.
enjoy
Take
the
your shoes
game.
off, stay
He's
a
gonna
while.
yell. He's gonna yell. He's gonna do it. Just relax.
Des, let's ask that question that
the drip?
Yeah, let's
The
get
drip?
off of
All right, we'll ask
baseball
both of you
topic.
guys.
Yeah.
Not 1 through 4, but the 4 Astros, excluding you, because we know you have drip and fashion. Who are top 4 people that you think have good fashion on the Astros?
Josh, can you pull up the definition of drip when you edit this? like off of what's off of Urban Dictionary?
I mean,
Yeah.
Just put the definition of it like right here on my chest.
I feel like if we're not including Ryan, because I do help with Fit Fridays. That's a big deal in our house.
Ooh,
got Fit Friday.
Let's dive into that a little bit.
What's Fit Friday?
Fit
Fit
Friday.
Friday.
I mean, I can
like,
understand.
They always
Yeah.
post the walk-in
Yeah. Every
and like
Friday.
your outfit.
And so we
Okay.
take that very seriously in our home. We take it very seriously. It's Fit Friday. We gotta pull it together. We gotta get.
Is it a
cute
scale
outfit.
of if he gets posted on
Yeah.
on IG or whatever? If
And
he gets
honestly,
posted,
I kid you not. Last year, if I picked his outfits, he made it like almost every time. If he picked his outfits, not as many times.
Oh.
No.
So I do help, but he also has a very different style than I do. So we gotta, I don't know, we work a little bit to get where we are. But if we're not including him,
Lance dresses
Lance,
really well.
I would say
Yeah,
Lance
dude.
is number 1
Lance
for sure.
is peak drip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, he's
If
got it.
Correa was still here, they're like on the same
Yeah.
level. Like they dress very similar. But I would say Lance is a heavy number 1 right there for me.
Yeah, I would say Lance is probably like the best dressed right
sure.
now.
I don't really know.
I'm trying to think. Like,
How's the rookie? How's Jeremy Pena's drip? Does he have drip yet, or is he?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah?
like
Not
yeah,
there yet, though.
He's
Slowly getting
he's getting there.
it's
yeah,
drip,
Okay.
but not any uppercase.
Low-
It's
okay.
low,
So
lowercase,
it's low-
little
lowercase,
drip, little
okay.
drip.
low key. He's only been with us a few games, but Joe Perez,
Okay.
sneaky drip guy.
Low key.
So
I don't even know if it's low key because
Okay.
like
he's peacocking a little bit.
he rocks more designer shit than like almost anybody that I've played with. Like it caught me off guard. I was like,
Wow.
I'm like, has he been in the big leagues with the other teams? Like I was like, is this his first time up? I was like, man, he's doing it right now.
What about Phil Maton?
Oh, I love
Dexter?
Dexter.
Dexter?
Right, dude.
Dexter.
Dude,
I'd post those memes all the time.
yeah, serial killer.
Yeah.
In this season, we've seen him smile way too much.
Yeah, we need
It's been different.
And
Yeah.
it has been different.
Phil-
Like, come
Phil's
on,
my
bro.
dude, but
He's
it's
a very nice guy.
Oh, we've
He's-
heard he's a really
he's
nice
so
guy.
he's
but-
very dry.
right.
But it's just like such a fun personality though, even though he is dry. Like we're in California. It was the four of us, including Ryan, myself, Joe, and then Phil. And he was in the back seat. And Joey's just like, she's just like, like saying stuff. And he goes, I see the song of your people. And I loved it. Like, it was so fun.
Oh my
So
goodness.
he's very fun. He's a very fun.
So how's
personality.
his drip, if you could even say that about Phil Maton?
I've seen him post it on.
I know,
IG.
right?
I've seen
So-
him. I've
He
seen him
makes
make
the
it. Yeah,
cuts
I
sometimes.
feel like he's just like a stock big league guy. He just like
Yeah, okay.
he like dresses nice. He's Joe Random. I mean, he likes shoes, so it's like the shoe game is typically pretty good. I feel like the outfits are pretty stock. Like he
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
it's like pants and a tee,
Lulu
like
shirt,
Lulu
right?
shirt. Yeah, like
Okay.
very very like standard. Like never looks bad, but it's not like super flashy. It's just not like flash isn't like his thing. I think Tuck has moments.
So that's what we were gonna.
He's kind of growing into it.
We interviewed him.
I think he's trying more now.
We interviewed him on Beyond the Diamond. Right before spring training? It was like a week before spring training.
I think it was right after I recorded with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he had on a Lulu shirt, and I wear a lot of Lululemon, so I could tell right off the bat.
Yeah.
And he had on a chain.
Yeah.
And so me and Dez we were giving him a hard time, but we were telling him basically like, dude, you're underrated. And he was just kind of like, yeah. Yeah. And we're like, no, Kyle Tucker, you're underrated. Like, you're going to be a dude like here pretty quick. And I was like, look at you. You got the Lulu shirt. We see you rocking the chain. And he just kind of smiled. And then we see him at the All-Star game. And
even before that, he's got the Jordans going.
He's
now.
always wearing high top Jordans
Yeah.
with pants. So I like that style. I see him at the All-Star game yesterday, and he's got on. The first thing I noticed was the shoes. He had Dior shoes on, and you told us before we started recording he had on all Dior besides maybe the white tee.
Yeah,
What,
it was
can
like
you rate that outfit?
I don't know.
Different look. If you haven't seen it,
He
we'll
showed
post
it to me before, like when he bought it. He showed it to me, and I was like, because it was like the top was like is like a jacket, so it was like when he showed it to me, it was zipped up, and I was like, I mean, it looks like you're trying to be like Dr. Evil.
Right.
But like it like unzipped and like how he looked, it looked good. I like not surprised because obviously like it was like a pretty clean, simple look. But like, yeah, I don't know, like it looked different on than it did in the picture that he showed me. So it was a good look. Low-key JV dresses very well.
Him and his wife and their daughter, their family outfit was phenomenal.
I mean, it was very coordinated. Like,
Yeah.
and you could tell.
Yeah.
And that would have been us too, because we would have had Joe,
Man,
and she would
should
have
have
been
been.
coordinated as well with us.
Should have
too.
been.
Yeah.
What do you think y'all would have gone with?
I don't know. So
Would you gone simple? I mean, it's All-Star game. Would that
Oh
have been
no,
your
I'd
first
have been
one?
I'd have been a
he
train
would
wreck.
have been. He would have
Yeah.
been.
I'd have been an
loud.
absolute train wreck.
Yeah.
So like the person that's making his suit for our wedding this year, we were talking with them. They do like a curated, like they could do like shopping for you basically. So just in case, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to dress the three of us if it happens and we have to go to All-Star game. And so we were kind of like, I was describing his style. He's toned down since we've been together. I'm like, babe, that does not go with that.
Well,
You can't wear
I'm
that
toned down
together.
because you talk shit.
I love him, but sometimes I'm like, honey, you cannot wear like this shirt. He has this god awful pair of red like corduroy pants that he loves.
Hell
It's his
yeah.
They're like
favorite-
maroon corduroy.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They're ugly. I don't like them. So he'll wear that with like something like this. I'm like, how do you think that goes? That's like purple, and then you're wearing maroon. Like, how does that go? So if we would have gone, it would have probably been like a loud touch of like a hat or like a loud shirt, or like sometimes it's too hot there. Sometimes he likes to rock a scarf if he's wearing like a suit, and it looks really cool. So I think we would have done that.
Hot is
It was too hot for that.
yeah.
But we could have done something like that and then just had Joe and I just play off of whatever he was doing. But like I obviously would have been more muted, and then Joe would have been like mid loud, and then
Well,
Dad
because she's
was loud.
50 Shades of Beige when she dresses.
50 Shades of Beige.
No, I'm serious. He's I'm like black, white, tan, cream, beige. Ryan's like purple, yellow, tie dye. Like I mean, the shirt that you have on is my husband. Like
Yeah.
that's him.
Peace, love, and heaters.
Peace, love,
Check
and
it out at
heaters.
apollohou.com if you want it.
Gotta plug it.
You know what we're gonna do? Instead of hanging K's when Ryan strikes people out, we're just gonna hang Fire Fit Fridays.
Oh yeah,
Like on
Oh,
the thing,
like the
like,
different outfits.
yeah, we're
shit,
gonna
yeah.
hang them.
That's what we ought to do. That's good
We're gonna
stuff.
we'll sit like the mezzanine front row by the bullpen. We're just like hang them right there, and
That would
no
be
one but our 10 listeners are gonna know the inside joke, and y'all.
I'd be so confused. What the hell is going on?
Why do these grown men have all these pictures of Ryne Stanek in nice outfits?
Nice outfits.
And why did they bring him to the game? Like, what are they doing?
Oh,
that's funny,
Oh, but all right, we're running close on time. I don't even know. I don't have any more.
I still want to know who the top 4 drip
Oh, yeah,
are,
we
man.
got-
Oh,
Get
what
that
are we
answer.
at? We said
Lance.
Lance is
Lance.
number 1.
For sure.
Tuck.
Tuck number 2.
I don't. You
What
said
about
no. You
Framber?
said no
Framber-
particular order.
No particular.
You said no particular order.
Okay.
Framber's got a pretty good shoe game. I'm trying to think.
You got, I mean,
JV dresses very well, but it's like
It's a stacked deck.
It's
Yeah.
a stack deck.
He's got an advantage.
Yeah.
His wife's a supermodel.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
stack deck. You know,
He's got the style advantage over most people.
It's like
and
racing
the budget advantage
like
on most
racing
people,
with
too.
Nos.
Yeah.
You know, like
I don't know. I can't help anymore.
okay, I'll give you Yuli, Bregman, Altuve, Brantley,
Reggie.
Chaz McCormick.
No.
Right.
No, I think Breggy has moments. Like there are times when Breggy, like I think,
Reggie dresses nice.
yeah, no, he does, but it's not. He doesn't do it all the time. Like
No.
he does very it'll be like a week of he'll like dress really like nice, and then he'll wear like sweatpants and like a tee, and then you're like, okay, like whatever, I get it. Like I'm just trying to think of somebody that does it like fairly regularly. Like
I don't know.
what about some opposing player or guys around the league that you're just like, those guys are they're big leaguers with the fits.
Bader does it. Bader is very much into the hype beast clothes. So like, I think he does well. It's
all I'm hearing
tough
is-
because like
Stanek's the best.
Stanek's
He's the
probably
best.
the
He's the
best.
best.
I don't know about that. I try.
When Jessica's dressing.
Yeah, when she dresses me, it's better. Apparently, allegedly.
I mean, we can look at the numbers.
Numbers
We
don't
can
lie.
pull the picks.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yo
Yeah.
Gotti.
What I do have fun. I remember my
Okay.
question. The story about the coffee machine and the
Mhm.
bullpen. Can you give us some backstory on that and making Seth carry out with the?
He's a rookie.
Yeah, you gotta make him. You gotta
Gotta carry the coffee machine. It's not
Yeah.
bad. It's not.
It could be
anything.
worse. Could have been a lot worse. Could have
Yeah.
been a lot worse.
My first year up, I had to carry this big ass backpack that had like 5 sets of like weighted balls and stuff in it, and it weighed like 40 pounds.
Was it a My Little Pony like
was it a
pink?
one?
No,
Was that-
it was actually a pretty good backpack. It was just a big like army camo backpack.
Missed
But, like,
opportunity for the non-pink backpack.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I didn't buy it.
No, I'm
It
just
was
saying
just
they
given
coulda-
to
they
me.
should have done that.
Yeah. But yeah, the coffee thing, it was. I don't know how it blew up into being like a story. Like it just kind of became a thing out of nowhere. We were just talking in the bullpen about like at home we don't have anything to make coffee in the bullpen. They typically bring out like a little pump thermos thing.
Mm.
And I mean, obviously it's coffee that sits there for
2.5, 3
a
hours.
couple hours,
Yeah.
so it's like it doesn't end up. It's like the coffee itself is fine,
but it's not fresh.
but it's not fresh, and
Yeah.
people are like, dude, I'd rather have a fresh cup of coffee. And like, it was like a simple solution. So Phil was like, you know what, screw it. I'm buying an espresso. We're gonna like go out there and have fresh coffee. He's like, I bought the Nespresso and some pods. It'll be out there. And the first day, it was just funny because like they made him carry it out in the box, which I'm like, obviously you're carrying it. Like I don't want to carry it, so you're carrying it. And Seth's awesome. So Seth was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
So it just became a thing. And then like out of nowhere, it became like a story, which we were like, why is this such a
why is this
such
in
a
the
big deal? We
newspaper?
we just wanted like better coffee in the bullpen, and it became like a thing. And everybody's like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
We won 15 in a row. Everyone in the bullpens has been a dude, and it's about the coffee.
Everybody's losing it right now. Yeah.
They're just running around out there.
Yeah. Well, if you guys need a barista, me and Brian will gladly
We'll do it.
sacrifice that, and we'll just be in the corner hanging out. And we'll
Just
make
hang
some
out,
fresh
shoot the shit
coffee. Yeah.
in the
I'll
pen.
just just get us a couple of pairs of pants and maybe like a blue pullover.
Yeah.
Astros, we'll be out there.
Oh, I mean,
Those
Yeah.
are just
We make some damn good coffee.
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
You like that?
Astros, throw the bag. Astros.
What a job.
Yeah.
What a job.
Put on my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys
Yeah.
so much. I know we're running up on time, and you guys have some baby free time, so appreciate you guys coming in and taking your afternoon to hang out with us, and we're super thankful for you guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
No problem at
Thank
all.
you
We
both
enjoy
for
it.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for coming in. Really, really appreciate it. You got anything else?
Nothing.
All right, that's gonna do it.
Love you guys.
There we go. Act like you've been there before. Peace.